Hey y'all, it's your girl Lala Licious. And today is the first episode of my new I'm wanting this to feel like a relaxed podcast type of vibe where I just rehash things that I probably thought about throughout the week, or maybe there's something on my mind. But it will be titles, so there will be titles to the videos. And this segment, again, is more like a podcast vibe, so it's not scripted whatsoever, but I will have a title to speak on. This will be called Pillow Point of View. Okay, this is basically when I'm just laying, getting ready for bed, and I just want to like do like a verbal diary basically. So this is basically that. And today's subject, today's topic, would is train yourself to be unbothered, because I personally feel that me being unbothered by situations and just things in life has really truly saved my life. Literally, it has truly saved my life. When you are unbothered with things and you understand just how things work and how life works, and things is just going to happen, shit is just going to happen, people are just going to do what they're going to do, people are going to feel like they feel because that's them. Things that you cannot control, you just let flow. Okay, one thing I've learned by me getting older, and I'm almost 40. A woman never tells her age. But I have been blessed enough to be on this earth for almost 40 years. And one thing that I could truly say that's a staple in my life that I have learned to conquer, well, that I'm still conquering, is just the art of just not giving a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Just really not caring what goes on outside of you, control you. When I learned to control myself and learn to control things I say and do, oh baby, I had the secret sauce, baby. And so I want to encourage you guys with these podcast talks that I'm going to start doing from here on out. This will be episode 1. I just want to reflect with you guys, and I want to you guys to write in the comments on how you may feel about each topic and subject, and let me know if this is interesting for you or you like this kind of content. Um, but my main thing is from me starting to date. And by the way, I've been going live on TikTok, and there's just been a lot of things in my life that just that are transpiring for the good, and I'm really really thankful. And that had a lot to do with me not giving a fuck and leaving where I was born and raised, just going to a foreign place, basically. Just not caring, packing my shit up and saying, hey, you know what? I'm about to start over. I'm going to, what could be worse? Not what could be worse than this, but it will be better. That's kind of how I saw it. Like, if I leave from shit, it won't be shittier or more shit, right? It's gonna be sugar, bitch. It's gonna be, bitch, I'm going to upgrade, bitch. It's gonna be honey. And that's what I encourage everyone to do, is that you have to have that leap of faith, baby. When things aren't working your way, bitch, try a different way. And sometimes you have to really think to yourself, will this new way be worse than what the fuck I'm doing? I might as well try it. You know what I'm saying? I might as well jump out the airplane. You know what I'm saying? I might as well try it. The art of training yourself to be unbothered has a lot to do with you being alone and learning how to be alone and being comfortable with being by yourself. I know a lot of people that just cannot be alone. Like, I know a lot of people that has to be in relationships, like after they get out of a relationship, in either a guy or a girl. So this isn't a boy or girl thing, man or woman, male or female. This is a person to person thing. A lot of that has to do with how we was raised. How was the insight in your household when you were younger? You know what I'm saying? Did you have the single parent that just worked two, three jobs and didn't really care? Now, I won't say didn't care about you, but didn't really give you the attention you need. I mean, did you have both of your parents and they just ignored the hell out you? I think this has to do with the sentiment of yourself and how you was raised. I think that will be the art of detachment. That will be the art of just not giving a fuck, because a lot of us care so much that it destroys our lives. And I was one of them people. I was one of those people that how the next motherfucker thought about me really fucked with my head. To the point where it would throw my whole day off. You know what I'm saying? It would ruin my whole day. And I had to take my power back. And I had to say, okay, why is this important to you? Why what they're saying is so important to you? Why? What does that hold? What power does that hold over you? And I had to think, bitch, you're not paying my bills. You're not doing nothing for me, you know? And a lot of my strength comes as just years of growth. So if you are a young person and you're still growing, and we're all still growing and learning, just don't get me wrong with that. But if you're a little younger, you have to give yourself time. For instance, a lot of time when I get into my creative bag, it's because I feel alone. When I get into my creator bag, like what I'm doing now, making content or just going live, some of those times is because I feel alone, or I feel sad because of how the next person made me feel. For instance, I was talking to this one guy, and it was just a lot of back and forth, and I always felt like I will only be complete if I had like someone, if I was dating a guy, if I had a boyfriend, or if I'm married. And now that I'm getting older, I understand in those dark times, that's when the most magic happens. That's when you find yourself when you are alone. So if I cannot be alone, if you cannot be alone by yourself, baby, you don't need to be with nobody right now. So I find that having yourself alone, I'm trying to find the word, having yourself isolated, that's the word I want to use. Having yourself isolated creates strength. It creates creatives. It creates content. It creates life, baby. It creates the gift of life. You have to learn how to conquer that. And I learned that the hard way, with just constantly probably like getting my heart broken, or just things not going my way. And a lot of it was just from me being selfish, of me wanting people to do what I want them to do. But when I understand that I have no control over anyone, what they say or do to me, I have no control over that. I gained my strength back, and I understood that, okay, well, I'm going to do what I can do. And what I can do is control how I feel about certain situations. Because if you go outside and you say the sky is blue, bitch, it might look gray to me. I'm just saying. So it's very important to see things through your lens and not see things through other people's lens, and be respectful to other people. Most definitely, the new year has brought in new ideas for me, and it has also brought in a lot of forthcoming events. Okay, so I'm growing into my transition. I'm feeling more comfortable on my own. I'm a big girl now, and I'm comfortable with. At one point, I couldn't stop calling my uncle and seeing, hey, can you help me with the bill? Or da, da, da. And now I just feel so proud of myself, and I understand I have people that's there for me and supporting me. But at one point, I was so needy. I was so needy to the point where it was embarrassing. And I didn't understand how needy I was until my mom passed, and I knew how needy I was. You know, there's a lot of people out in the world that's fucked up. When I tell you they heart fucked up, they mind fucked up, how they move is fucked up, they trust. And the reason why people are fucked up nowadays is because of other people. It's because people are in general are usually fucked up because of other people. And one thing I promised myself is that I refuse to let a person destroy me. If anything, bitch, I'm gonna destroy myself. If anything, and I'm just saying, which I'm not gonna do that, you know. But I refuse to let a person dictate my life, and I refuse to let a person fuck me up just because they fucked up, you know? And a lot of people I've met that's just, and I've met some fucked up people, but when I came to Atlanta, it's like the mentality of people here is like a shithole. And trust me, I'm from Florida, and I'm not saying that this is just a whole different world, but I have saw poverty here at the next level. Like when I tell you, I have never saw this many homeless people. I have never met this many young black men on meth and drugs. I have never met this many people with different like STDs and shit like that. Like shit gets real. And I'm sure shit gets real anywhere in the world, but this type of shit I ran into in Atlanta really taught me to stay to myself. Like bitch, when I tell you you have to see some shit and hear some shit for you to learn. It's good to learn through other people, but when you go through that shit yourself, it hits different. So go out there in the world, try different things, talk to different people, date, love. You know, that's the only way that you are going to grow through repetition, through you doing things, physically doing things. Again, I can learn from someone else. You could sit here all day and listen to me and I could preach to you, but if you haven't been through it yourself, you don't really know how that shit feel. You get what I'm saying? So live a little, love a little, get your heart broken. You know, sometimes that's the best form of a butterfly effect is you growing out of that cocoon, you know? But guard your heart, guard your mind. You know, we always want to walk out of situations the same way we came. I never want to walk into anything one way and come out of that motherfucker a different way unless it's better. If I'm walking into a place or I'm walking into a relationship or a job or anything, when I leave that motherfucker, I done times 10 leveled up, okay? You're not going to destroy me. That's not what we're going to do. And that's one reason why I stay away from people like that. Because if I see that you're trying to destroy me, I will destroy you before you even think about it. And so my social skills are so phenomenal and so top tier. And I'm not just saying this, it's because I've always put myself out there. I've always, even how I am, trans, black, tall, I'm very visible. I've always put myself out there. I've always had jobs. I've always had corporate jobs, worked around white people, Latinos. I'm from Florida. I've always had different friends. I've always been visible, being in the band. I did American Idol, you know, I sang, I did different competitions. I've always understood by me putting myself out there and being visible that things will come about. If it's good or bad. And guess what? The form of alchemy is taking one thing that's bad or good and turn it into something else. That's like if you have a bag of lemonades, baby, make some lemonade. Make some lemon meringue pie, whatever that's called. Make some, however you say it, or make some. But you can do a lot with a bag of lemons and some sugar, yet alone just the lemons, you know? So it's very, very important that you understand you are the creator of your life. You are forming your life. You are writing your story. And when you allow a person to include themselves in your story, you tell them the character they play in your shit. Bitch, you're not going to tell me what character you're going to play in my story. Okay? You have to understand. that being in control of yourself is the only way because you know what works for you. For instance, if I allow you to treat me some type of way or I allow you to feed me the bullshit that you want to just feed me, I know what I can tolerate and I know what I want from a relationship, from life, from a friendship. And if I don't lay down those rules and I don't lay down that guideline and I just let you run rampant, then I'm angry at myself. It's very important that you take control of yourself. That is the only way. I used to think that was so mean. I was like, damn, I'm really a mean person. A nigga don't. I'm not letting a nigga treat me like he want to treat me, like fuck over me, and people talking to me like bullshit and da da da. Then they get mad at me. How you mad at me? Cause I won't tolerate no bullshit from you. How you mad at me? Cause I won't let you run over me. How you mad at me because I won't let you pull the wool over my eyes and you're mad at me? You're mad at me because I peep game. You're mad at me because I'm a spiritual being. You're mad at me because my third eye is always working. That's why I tell y'all, us chosen ones, 9 times out of 10, we don't die alone or lonely, but we die without a spouse because we see shit so clearly. We see things for immediately what it's worth and we take control of it like, hey, this is what it is. And if it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, that bitch got feathers and it's swimming upon, baby, she or he or them or they, that's a duck. Baby, they ducks, okay? And I'm gonna call it a duck, you know? And so, just in life, just living life again, you learn these things and you have to learn. It's a form of practice because I've had my heart broken, you know? I've been, for a lack of better term, shitted on. Doors have been closed. Jobs didn't hire me because who I am. Guys have told me some bullshit. Guys have tried to use me. People have stole from me. But I rise. I still try. The career that I have now, I thank God for it. Because if I would have stopped, if I would have listened to what people say and say, hey, you as a person, right? As how you identify, how you look, you don't need to be in corporate office, right? Or you don't deserve to work next to this person or that person. You don't deserve this pay rate. You don't deserve to have the place that you stay. You don't deserve the car. I will be riding buses. I will be sucking dick for $40. I will be on drugs. If I listen to other people, how they wanted to dictate my life and control what I do, I will be a fucked up person. Being unbothered saved my life. And it can save yours too. Tap into that. Tap into that unbotheredness. Tap into the art of unbothered, baby. You have to train yourself to be unbothered, and you have to do it now because there is a mental warfare. Right now, we're moving from 3D. We're moving from the physical to the mental. Okay? And if you're not on board, you will drown. You know what I'm saying? If you're not up to par, if you're not receiving these downloads, you will drown because you can't cross over, baby. We're moving on. Everybody fighting with their mind now, so you got to tap in, You got to understand, hey, what the next bitch got going on, they don't got shit to do with me. I'm going to show compassion, sympathy, and empathy, and I'm going to practice those things because I want those things in return. But when I see that you don't give that to me, when I see that you aren't capable of giving those things nor receiving them, because a lot of people don't understand, a lot of people can't receive love too, not only give it. A lot of people can't give love and a lot of people don't know how to receive it either. So when you see a person like that, are they like-minded as you? Are you the same type of person? Because birds of a feather flock together. When you see that that person is not on your level, you have to close it out. That's one thing I learned about Atlanta. Atlanta moves so fast. It has taught me so much about life. You got to move on. You got to keep going. You got to keep walking. Life goes on. The sun will still rise. Whether you're dead or not, whether you last or not, the sun is still going to rise. The wind is still going to blow. You know, waterfalls will still water will still flow. You have to keep it moving. That's the only way. So hopefully this message spoke to someone. Hopefully this message was empowering to someone. And of course, I love sitting and talking with you guys because it is just therapeutic to me. It is therapeutic, and it's always good to have an outlet. So always have something that you can do when you do feel down or you do feel defeated. Always have some type of hobby or something that you can do to fall back on to feel better about yourself. Always know that someone is out there who loves you, even if you don't know them. You just haven't met them yet. Always feel that love for yourself. Always love yourself. Go inside of yourself. A lot of y'all have to learn how to meditate too. Meditation is neither a religious thing. I feel like meditation is just what it is. Every human being should know how to meditate and go within and find peace, you know? And a lot of you guys need that, because that's life changing too, and that's a story for a different time. But meditation grounds us. Meditation is needed. So when you don't feel loved by other people, go inside yourself and hug yourself. What about you? Stop being so hard on yourself. Love yourself enough to walk away. Love yourself enough to say fuck it. Love yourself enough to love yourself. And that's when you see true growth. That's when you really see yourself growing and getting what you want out of life and receiving what God has for you. Is when you start loving yourself. You can always have a husband. You can always have a wife. You can always have a boyfriend. Love yourself first, because if you cannot do that, nothing else would last. And it starts there.